Hi everyone, my name is Martin Stoyanov, and I'm an 18-year-old who just graduated from high school and am taking a gap year before going off to college. As a teenager, I got used to having access to lots of data in the easiest way possible. So when I asked my dad, the CEO and founder, what tools he used to reach an investing decision, I was expecting him to name maybe one or two tools. But instead, he showed me around 6 or 7 different tools. Some were mobile apps, others were full-on websites, and it seemed unnecessarily complicated. And we hope to show you with Financeboards that it really was.
Hi, I'm the dad in question, obviously, and I've been in the software industry a lot of years. I will not name them exactly, but there has been a lot of platform transitions from the mainframes, the punch cards, DOS, Windows. Now we have the smart devices, and I was also young at some point. And when I was young, I wanted to completely change everything when a new platform was coming, to not pay attention to what has already been built. So with WooTrader, with Financeboard, we try to take an approach to both value the fundamental analysis, the technical analysis that has been proven by many years of research and testing, but also to open the door to the new alternative data sets that a great lot of fintech companies are creating. So with that, I'll let the young generation present.
Sure. In this presentation, we'll be going over a brief overview of WooTrader and our new product Financeboards. But first, we'll just quickly look at their industry, fintech, see where it's come from, where it is now. The past of fintech included many facets that, at the time, were very modern. Financial data and investing strategies were just a few. Terminals, such as the one you see here, created a conglomeration of financial data and made accessing a lot of information quicker and easier. One of the uses of terminals such as these was plugging their data into investing strategies, such as the Peter Lynch strategy. And Peter Lynch, with this strategy, turned $1 in his Fidelity Magellan Fund into over 28 from 1977 to 1990. These were great returns because during the exact same time period, the S&P would have only returned just over $6. However, these established fintech strategies are getting outdated. You'll use the exact same strategy today, it's simply not going to work. We see that the exact same Fidelity Magellan Fund underperformed the S&P 500 by almost 2% from 2001 to 2011. And as for the terminals that many of these strategies are backtested off of, well, they're very expensive and give an unfair advantage to the richest institutions. And these are the same institutions that use these outdated strategies. So it's no surprise then that 66% of them underperformed the S&P 500 next year. So there's something wrong with them, and it's not that they don't have enough money because they can buy any tool they want. It's not that they have dumb people because they have people with great educations on their team. And we think it's the strategy behind it, behind how they invest. Now we'll go on to the present of fintech. So these are just two facets of the new fintech that we see. And you'll see a common theme with these, and that is that they're attempting to democratize and make more equal the investing world. So we see a bunch of startups coming up with affordable and unique APIs. These are just two, but actually both Quandrel and TradingView, we can integrate their APIs into Financeboards, and we'll go over how that will be done very shortly. So now that presently we have all these APIs, all this investing information, but how do we consider it all in one strategy? One way would be through a type of mathematics called predictive analytics. And predictive analytics is a branch of analytics that is used to make predictions about unknown future events. So previously, it was used to predict the trajectories of missiles, but now it's the methodology behind WooTrader's platform. We'll be taking a look at how WooTrader works very shortly, but we're just going to really quickly see how it's been performing. We can see that, on average, the top 5 stocks that WooTrader's models have picked have, on average, outperformed the S&P 500 over periods of a week, a month, and a year, which is their main goal. Now we'll go more in depth and see how it works. So here we see a type of tree, and on the perimeter, we see around 300, 350 different stock screeners. And we consider some screeners from company fundamentals. So we consider PE ratios. We consider some technical analysis screeners. We consider options screeners as well, so put call option interest ratios. We also have sentiment as well, and analyst estimates. So what we do with all these screeners is we assume that not all of them work at all periods in the market, and we try and figure out when they do, and we give them weights accordingly. We'll see that we can see the screener weight in parentheses, and we see that a bunch of screeners come together to form a model, which again has its own weight. And then we see these models come together to form a category, which again has its own weight. All these categories then come together and give this general ranking of over 4,000 stocks. And since the screener weights change every day, so does the ranking. If we scroll down here, we'll see the specific performance history of these categories. What's interesting is that there's not a single category that consistently performs. All of them are on and off. And if we want to, we can click on a specific date. And the tree up here should update. Yep, so we click May 12th, so here it is. And you'll also notice that some screeners work best when picking stocks within the same industry, so they would be red, while others, the industry doesn't matter much at all. We go back and we see company fundamentals. They have quite a lot of red screeners, while something like the analyst sales estimates doesn't really. We go down here, and we'll see the exact same performance history, but for the submodels. And again, there's not a single model that consistently outperforms the S&P 500. So this was our brief overview of WooTrader, and if there's one thing to take out of this, is that we don't consider, or at least our models don't consider one type of investing to be better than another. So we don't say, oh, investing based on company fundamentals is better than investing based on the company technicals. We just assume that each of these will work at certain periods in the market, and we try and figure out when, and then weight them accordingly. We're also very open about our performance, and if we go back, we'll take a look at it. Here we see the actual ranking of the stocks, and we can see our history and performance. Again, above the S&P, which is our main goal. Now we'll go on to Financeboards. A little bit about Financeboards. It's a stock investing dashboard-based platform. And it lets users add, delete any of our 450 widgets that we currently have. So they can add them to their own dashboards, etc. They can even, what's cool about this, is they can even create their own widgets from any API that they have access to. So they can integrate it into a widget. And we'll just do that now very quickly and see how easy it can be. To do that, first we'll click the widgets button up here. Then we'll click create new widget. So we're at the general information menu, and here we'll type in the widget name. So for this specific widget, we'll be integrating some Glassdoor API data. And if you don't know, Glassdoor is a website where employees can give ratings to the companies that they work for. So we'll give it a name and a description. While we're at it, we can change the color if we wanted. All right, so now we'll go to the configuration menu. The first thing we need to do here is paste in the data URL. So where are we going to get this information from? If we go on the Glassdoor website, we'll see that they provide their own API link, but you need to replace your partner ID key and stuff like that. That'll be emailed to you. So conveniently, we have one already. We can paste it in. And next thing we need to do is select the data format. In this case, the data format is JSON-P. And now we can test the data connection and see if we're getting anything back. OK, great. So we see the raw data here. And we can just scroll through, see what data is actually relevant to our widget. So here we see an overall rating. Here we see a rating description. So this information here seems like one that we'll put in our widget. We could, of course, call this information by writing in response.employers.0, and .0 is because an array is being initiated, and this is all the first element in the array, so it'd be .0, .rating description, or .culture and values rating, and then we get the specific values. However, we can create a shortcut with Financeboards, so we don't have to write that every single time. Cool. So now we can actually add some content to our widget. As you can see, this is just HTML text. And in this case, seems like a table will be the easiest. So we'll create a table row and a table column. Why don't we type in the overall rating first? Cool, so we see it appear on the left side. And now on the right, we want to actually display the unit value. So we'll go and create another column. And we'll open and close some curly braces. Using Financeboards code completion, which you can just access by clicking Control Space, we can scroll through all the possible information. So now the shortcut should work. Yep, so we scroll down, and we find overall rating. So here we see the specific overall rating. And if you notice, in the URL, we have a specific Financeboards function within the curly braces. And what this will do is it'll replace the URL with the specific ticker that you'll put in. So if we want to see the overall rating for Tesla, we'll get it. And you see this isn't quite aligned to the right, and we can do that because this is just HTML. So we can align it to the right. And so there we have it. If we had more time, we'd go over showing how this information could be displayed in a chart format depending on how you want. But now we'll just save it and add it to our dashboard. So first thing we need to do, though, is we'll take a screenshot of our widget so that way we can find it more easily. So we've saved it. And now let's go to the dashboard we want to add this widget to. Let's add it to the Web and Social dashboard. All right, great. And now we click this button here, the widgets button, and we'll type in our widget name. Here we see it with the screenshot. We've also pre-made a Glassdoor widget so we can see, if we had more time, what we could have gone over and added. So at the bottom here, we'll see this pre-made widget and our own widget that we just made right now. We can, of course, resize it, move it up or down the screen if we want. And now we can save our dashboard. Great, so that was a quick overview. We can go over now, since we have a little bit of time, we'll go over more specific dashboards and see more of the widgets that we cover. So we have some social news charts. Again, we can switch them for any ticker we want. We have a financials dashboard. And you can view Financeboards as either a free financial website, a little bit on steroids due to the sheer amount of information that we provide, or a more customizable terminal. Because terminals, they're not going to let you create or add your own information if they don't cover it. They're just simply too big and not flexible enough. We hope that you learned something in this presentation, and if you have any questions after, feel free to meet us at the booth.